Hey, I'm Chance, and welcome back to another game table adventure. So, we're going to take another look at gaming accessories for the tabletop. And today, I think we're going to do a little better, taking a deep dive into what monsters me and the group have. So, sit back, relax, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you're into this kind of thing. Because it's time for the fun. Well, here we are with another miniature. Now, this was purchased for Josh's birthday. Was not painted by us, but I still felt the need to include it because just look how good this is. Paint apps are excellent. Detailing on the sculpt is just exquisite. And there we go. Dragonian Mage. He looks pretty good. Oh man, you can even see some of the color variation in the wings, which is really well done. I honestly wish I could paint as well as this is. Now, there are a few problems. This trident looks more like a pitchfork because it's bent. But for a medium-sized creature, it's pretty good. Bent fork aside, I mean, just look at the looks on this piece. And you've just gotta love it. Definitely a favorite, and for Josh, the dragon lover, definitely a piece to keep in his collection. The Dragon Blood Ooze. Another one of the pre-colored, pre-painted miniatures Josh got for his birthday. And one I wanted to highlight. Aside from the fact it kind of looks like one of my ex-girlfriend's bad dragon toys, it's definitely an interesting sculpt. The translucency is pretty good. The fact that it looks like blood is pretty impressive. And, you know, it's an ooze. It's a slime. It's pretty boring, I will admit. But the surface detailing is top-notch. And it definitely earns a spot in the collection. Can't top that. Not for what it is. I mean, I believe it's a large base, maybe huge. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Okay, let's see if we can get a look at the name of this thing. It is some kind of scarab bug. It's small, it's gold. It's cool. It came with the same set of miniatures as Josh's Dragon Slime Ooze and Draconian Mage. Christ. And it is pretty cool looking. Really shiny. It's hard to get the detail there. A lot of glare. It looks pretty good. I mean, just look at that. Not much to say about it, but there we are. The Egg Hunter. Dually. Egg Hunter Adult. As you might guess, another one from Josh's collection of minis. He who doesn't care much for painting. And it looks pretty good. Not really much to say about it, sadly. But it does look pretty good. Paint apps are good. Sculpt is good. I've just never heard of it. Well, there we go. Yep, let's take a look at this next set of goodies. These are the Xeno eggs. And they were 3D resin printed by my friend. And I think they look pretty good the way I painted them up. All the details kind of pop out at you. Kind of a pale flesh color for the inside. I went with green. Kind of a color gradient from the bottom to the top. If you ask me, some of my best painting. And, you know, what's funny is they weren't that hard to paint up. It's just a matter of taking your time. As you can see underneath, there's no markings, just round base from printing them off. Let's get a good close-up. There we go. You can really see that detailing in it. They just look so good. You can kind of see the outline of a face hugger on the inside. God, I just love the way these came out. I wish I had more. We've only got the 3 painted eggs, so it's a bit limited. Just look at that. Taking a good look at them. Getting some good views. You can see the wrinkles in the eggs. They just look so lifelike, if you ask me. This is my zombie dragon. And it is glorious. Just trying to get everything done was a real pain in the ass. You can see all the detail. And let's take a closer look. Just look at that. colors of flesh, the way the skin is peeling up. This took me days to paint. Parts of the bones are popping out. It's hard to get the good lighting. You can see some of the washes I used didn't take perfectly. I'm still getting the hang of things. But, oh man. It really, really looks creepy. Just look at that. The tatters in the wings, patterns of the scaling, even the rock rubble looks to be part of the castle or something. They didn't spare any detail here. Take a good look at the back. Just beautiful. All the spines, all the look, just fantastical. You know, I did a lot of colors with him. Let's get him turning a bit so you can get some more angles, that close-ups. You know, I really took my time and painted him. I ended up painting him twice. The first time, it just did not look right, and I was not going to settle for anything less than my very best on this. So I took a couple of days and got all the paint off, rebase coated, and repainted him. Because I was not going to settle for good enough, or I wanted the best I could do. The very best I could do. Top of my game, top of my tier kind of fucking paint jobs. I mean, not only was it a Christmas present, but it was an incredible mini that really deserved my time, attention, and affection. And that's always a way to do it, you know? Just sometimes you find a mini and you just have to give it your all. I am a huge fan of dragons. I'm a huge fan of zombies. I have used him in a couple of D&D games. Shit, man. He is just epic and really well designed. I'm pretty sure he's a Reaper mini, actually. Pretty sure. I picked him out. Sam said she'd buy me one mini for Christmas one year. And this is the guy I picked. Just fucking savage looking. And I love the hell out of him. Like I said, again, probably my best paint job. Probably the very best I can pull off. Just so good. And just, I mean, look at some of these details. These wings. Just the way the flesh is corroded off. The leatheriness. The look. He both looks like he could and could not fly all at the same time. It's just threatening. Look at that. Even his guts are just kind of hanging out. Hip bone. And just look at that. Like, just the detail. And I feel super satisfied with my ability to get in there and paint that. And just get it going, you know? You've got to take pride in what you're doing. And in a lot of ways, I feel like this is a good example of what I can do and how I can do it. And I'm pretty proud of that. Just so well done. So well crafted. And definitely one of my favorites. These are my Xenomorphs. First of all, you will probably note they do not have a tail. The tails all broke off during the printing process, so it is what it is. I wish I had better Xenomorph sculpts, but seeing as these were free, can't complain. Now, big thing to notice, they have a dark paint job. They were painted a dark shade of purple, and then painted with a black wash. This is again a fault of mine. Homemade wash. See if we can get that detail in there. The detailing is actually really good. Color definition, not so much. That's the fault of my paint job, not the fault of the sculpt, and not the fault of my friend who printed them. That's my B for painting them badly. These are supposed to be drones. Medium-sized bases. You know, they look pretty good. As you can see, they were resin 3D printed. Just all in all, pretty good. Just fantastic, really. And I do love the way they came out. I love the way they look. The exception of not having tails, they are pretty accurate as to depicting xenomorphs. I've got a grand total of 6 of these bad boys, and they all match. Just look at that. So much line detail that you can barely fucking see it, but it comes through so nicely on the resin printer. Just trying to get zoomed in enough here so that you guys can really see. See if I can back it out and back it back in. Doesn't really help. God, I just made it blurrier. There we go. Well, painted these guys up as a set. They are all identical. And I think they came out pretty good. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them on how I could have done a better job on these. I think a lighter purple wash before, or a lighter purple paint before the black wash would have helped out immensely. And I think I could have picked out some of the details maybe with silver, because they have those metallic teeth and claws. I don't know. I'm planning on having a friend of mine print up another batch of these. Not these specific sculpts, but another set of xenomorphs. And I would love to hear any ideas on how I can improve. Because at the end of the day, having fun and getting better at your hobby to feel a sense of accomplishment and pride in what you do, that's the point, you know? It's not just about having fun in the moment, but helping your self-esteem. Helping you feel accomplished. I think that's a big and important part of the hobby that some people miss. It's about friendship. It's about building yourself. It's about bettering yourself. And these are all things that hobbies and gaming can help you accomplish. I feel that those are important facts and ideas to really put behind. And at the end of the day, I'd love to hear your thoughts. These are my horses. Printed up by a friend of mine, Liz, and painted by me. And I painted them in a variety of colors. They just look pretty good, I think. Some of you who've watched the previous video will know I love copper. And the copper paint continues on these saddles. I've got two different sculpts. These pole horses. And these saddled horses. I'm going to go over each horse in detail. So this I painted, the wash was a little heavy, but I don't think that hurts the overall look of the horse. You'll see the daggers on the horse's saddle are copper. I love copper. It's one of my favorite colors. Definitely my favorite metallic. And just look at that. I mean, the sculpt is really good. My camera would have quit having zoom issues. That would be nice. Fuck. It looks pretty good. This one I meant to look speckled. So I went a little heavier on the wash on purpose, which made it look streaky. And broken off one of the handle pieces to the daggers. I don't know when that happened. This one I gave kind of a cow print. I don't know much about horses, or at least breeds of horses. But I feel this one kind of looks like an Appaloosa. It's another pull horse. I love it. I wish I had minifigs that would fit on the horses, or horses with riders on them. I think that would be fun to paint. Kind of a cavalry look. And you gotta love cavalry. It's a big part of human history and warfare. Black horse, like Tornado from Zorro. Made the mane and the tail a little lighter. And I figured those would darken up with the wash, and they did. Problem is he's so dark that the leather for the bit and the bridle and the saddle just kind of blend into the horse, and I think that's a little unfortunate. Some of these came out really good. I mean, really good. And I'm really proud of the way they are. The way they look. Despite the fact I had some issues with it, despite the fact that I may have made a bit of a mistake here or there, I'm pretty proud of what I've done. And at the end of the day, I can live with it. Are they the greatest horses? No. Their bases are a little unpainted, which makes them look a little sloppy. Maybe someday I'll go in and touch them up a bit. But, you know, for what they are, get kind of a carousel look to this so that y'all can get a better look at the side profile of these horses. Oh, got one backwards. I think they came out pretty good, you know? Not perfect, but definitely tabletop ready. Nobody can sit there and say, oh, your minis are unpainted or, something like that. No, I fucking painted these. They're painted. Very much painted, and I think pretty well. Love that one. Just gotta love that one. It is what it is. But hey, there's a lot more to look at, so let's continue on. Here we have another Xenomorph. This one was printed up by Josh on a traditional filament 3D printer. He's big, he's large size category, and as you can see, he has some broken bits. This is because the filament 3D printer does not like tiny details. I've yet to find a 3D printable Xenomorph that is the appropriate size that doesn't break in some way. Once I get my own 3D printers and can start fucking with this on a regular, you know what, we'll see what I can do. But that's a good ways off, and who knows when that'll happen. But here you can see it looks pretty good. And, well, enough turntable-ing it. Let's see if we can get some good close-ups. The ribs sculpted pretty well. He lost a little piece right here when he got dropped at one point. This arm, you can see the hand is right here. It broke off when we were taking the scaffolding off. This arm is fine. He actually broke in half somewhere. I can't remember where. No, his tail broke off right here at the rock. And the rock is part of the sculpt. That was not added by me as a means to, like, prop the tail up or anything. Though, with the way this thing printed, it probably would have been necessary. You can see print lines in it, especially here at the base. It's got a lot of print lines. You know, it came out pretty good, though, so I'm not mad at it. I think, again, I could have done better with the painting. I went with a dark purple with a black wash. I painted all of these at the same time. And I kind of regret the way that I painted them. I mean, you can see... Get up here in the light a little bit. And focus. Focus. I said focus. Fuck it. It is what it is. It's a nice piece to the collection. It's supposed to be a warrior. I think it's not bad for an early attempt, and I don't feel bad that I had it printed. I don't feel bad that I painted it. It's seen some use on the tabletop. So, you know, it's pretty good for what it is. Let's get a little bit more of a look at it before I move on. But, yeah, I love Xenomorphs. I love the Aliens franchise. Covenant sucked. Sorry, but it did. And so did the Prometheus movies. Resurrection was better. A little more Aliens goodness here. We have the Facehuggers. And these ones I'm especially proud of because of the small detail in painting that they needed. And how well they came out. The metallic paint looks good. It looks nice and clean. The flesh of the Facehuggers looks pretty screen accurate. Pale and kind of a strange off eggshell tan. I feel like I color matched these perfectly. And there is some pretty extreme detail, even for as small as these are. and is a testament to 3D resin printers, because there is actual space between the vents and the actual base of the base. They are flat like coins, and you'd be surprised at how detailed they are. I mean, for as small as they are. Just fucking crazy. I mean, you can see they are tiny. And if you look at the back, there's kind of a bulge to it. But yeah, these are resin printed really well. Did I do perfect on painting them? No. I mean, you can see spots where I missed the brush, like right there. And a little silver on the legs. Did this one a little better. But even then, there's some spots where I missed. So light. And so small, too. I mean, for scale, these are medium-sized bases they take up. They're small creatures. And see, there it is next to the Draco Mage from earlier. You know, they take up a 1-inch square, but they are really good minis. Super stoked about how they came out. So yeah, nice. Next we have Red, the R5 from Star Wars. 3D printed out pretty nice, so I tried to paint him like the movie. Had to freehand the top. I am not good at freehanding. I mean, you can see where the dot's off center and the triangles don't quite look right, and it is just a mess. But this is actually my first attempt at painting the R5 sculpt that just got kind of lost in my other shit. So I decided I would show him off here. We all get better at painting over time, and even if you're good at painting, you can still fuck up. And with that, we're going to show off the R2 style sculpt. The first one I painted. Never got around to doing the blue. I figured a silver and white one would do fine for what I was doing at the time, which was to just try to get some painted minis out on the table, because at the time I was tired of looking at my fucking sea of gray plastic and gray resin, or unpainted metal. So here we are, a little taste of some of what I painted. I'll get these guys side by side. I've already covered them before with better painted versions, but hey, sculpts are pretty good, and they were given to me by a pretty good friend. So yeah, I guess that's all. It's time for me to be a bit of an ass, or a burro, as I show you guys my donkey. Not my best work, but not bad work. Not a lot to it, really. Let's get up for some close-up looks here. It's got a little lantern and a pick and some barrels and a bedroll. It's a small donkey. It looks pretty good. He was just part of a batch of minis that were brought to me, given to me. He's resin printed. Kind of an extra. Nobody knew what to do with him. I don't even think anybody knew why he got printed. So I painted him up. And here he is for all of you to see. Just look at the detail on him, though. It's pretty impressive. Tried to paint him realistically in kind of a reddish brown, but the black wash just took out all that detail. So, be careful what you wash with. Homemade washes are crap. Buy your washes from a store if you care about them any. And make sure to dab off excess wash when it doesn't go into recesses you want. Don't just fucking wash it and let it sit, because that doesn't help anything. Get a good little 360 view of him. Here we have a giant Ninja Sam. This was a mini that I designed on Hero Forge for Sam for one of her characters for her birthday. And we printed out a large version of it, and Sam let me paint it for her. And I think it came out pretty good, aside from one spot I fucked up right there. But as you might guess, painting bigger models is a little easier. It's a little better, you know? And you never know what's gonna fuck up something, you know? It is. So let's get a better look at this miniature. Get some close-ups of the color, of the boots, of the books. The character was a bard / ninja. And because of some shenanigans with Modern Warfare, Sam earned the nickname Ninja Sam in our little group. And then when she actually played a ninja, I thought it was fitting to commemorate that character. I couldn't remember the coloration for Sam's character, but I used a variety of painting techniques and washes on this miniature. And I think she turned out pretty well. We have 3 different size categories of this character. One large, one huge, like this, and one medium size. Medium size one is going to get painted up by Sam eventually, as is the large. But she didn't want to paint this one up, and I can understand. It had heavy print lines, as you do when you use a filament printer. And it was just so hard to clean off the scaffolding off of this mini. I mean, I think Sam got it all off, but you can't even tell where she broke. But she broke off the ankles, above the knees, the flute broke in half, the sword broke in half. You can kind of see where the sword broke in half, though. One of the arms came off. I can't remember which one. But we eventually glued her back together, got her all cleaned up, got all the scaffolding off. And that took a little doing, took a little bit of time. And it is definitely worthwhile. You know. And see it fully painted up in good colors. I went with red and blue. Again, at least for me, that is kind of an inside joke for me and Sam. Sam plays a lot of blue when it comes to MTG. Her favorite deck she calls Under the Sea. Yes, like the Disney song from The Little Mermaid. And it is all fish, krakens, starfish, undersea animals. And that'll get seen when we do a couple of videos on magic that I have planned coming up. But yeah. You can just get a good look at her. I eventually intend, considering I do these videos a lot, to invest in an actual turntable. Wouldn't that be nice? But it's on the list of things to pick up and isn't an immediate priority, especially around here, so that could be a while. But there we go. Well, here we have a look at my last of the big minis for today. And it looks pretty good. Unfortunately, I have no way to show you guys the coolest feature of this guy. And that is that I painted him, you can see it here, with glow-in-the-dark paint. But my camera does not pick it up in the dark. So that sucks. I also dropped him, so can't really pick him up to get really good looks at him. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and take a close-up look at him, his rock. I love dragons. As you might guess, my favorite color is green. And I painted him to look like a ghost dragon. So what I did was I painted him with Citadel paint, warp green contrast paint, and I painted him head to toe, and then I painted him with glow-in-the-dark paints to outline things like his eyes, his horns, his teeth, his claws, the spines on his back, the lines of his wings, all that. And I'm pretty proud of the way it came out. Unfortunately, because my camera, I can't really show you the best feature of this guy. It doesn't show up on camera. The light's not strong enough, and maybe at some point I will get a better camera and take a revisit at that. Oh god, the best thing about this miniature is the thing that I can't show you. Oh, that's a pity. Well, this concludes taking a look at my last dragon. Well, that's been the second look at minis and gaming accessories. So, there's the monsters, and there's the creepy critters that make adventuring fun. I don't have as extensive of a monster collection as I do a character collection. And that owes in part to some of the campaigns I've run have had more humanoid enemies than monstrous enemies. But as time goes on, and as I build up my collection more, there'll be more to see. So thank you for sitting here with me this long. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends if you think they'd be interested in this. And I'll see you guys again soon. Until then, keep adventuring.